Hello everybody, this is going to be a quick news video where I talk about Jumputi and a little bit about Ori Collection. Let's start off with Ori Collection actually. We got a scan from VJump. There was an Ori Collection 2 scan that specifically said nothing of interest. It says the game's coming out in 2019, cool, we already knew that. And it also showed off a couple of the characters and showed how the team ultimate attack mechanic is working, which I still think that's dumb. I still think it looks really dumb. But I mean, I don't know. It might be one of those mechanics that starts off as like a big thing, but then isn't later, like tandem on why'd I say that weird? Tandem orbs on OPTC. But the scan basically says Ori Collection 2 coming in 2019. Play with your favorite jump heroes, and then it showcases Time Skip Luffy, Super Saiyan Goku, Base Form Seiya, Dai, and Sage Mode Naruto. So there's really not a lot to tell you here. The only thing I can garner from this that might be interesting information is that these 5 characters from the screenshots that we've seen leaked before, mixed with this screenshot now, seem to be heavily suggested as probably the first 5 characters that are going to get the first Jump Awakenings in the new game. What there is, I mean, we don't know what the Awakenings are going to be like in the new game, really. Like, they seem to be form changes and stuff like that, mostly. But we don't know if they'll all be form changes. We don't know if it's going to be free characters and paid characters. We don't know if it's just going to be everybody. Can't know yet. Can't know yet. But this scan, the models do look good, to be fair. They look a lot better than they did at the start. I'm still on the fence. I'm going to play it. I'm probably going to enjoy it. I've said this before. I'm going to go in not expecting a lot, just to have a little bit of fun and see what happens. I'm hoping that the character arts are still really nice, because we do know that there are character arts for every character. And I mean, that's about it. That's all there is to say about Ori Collection. As for Jumputi, a lot of news. First things first, we have a new Uzaru Vegeta Stage. It's the catastrophe version of the current stage. We knew one was coming eventually, because they had a Vegeta costume of him in his full power with like lightning around him, which is just what they're using for Dragon Ball characters as the catastrophe costume. They gave it to Cell as well. They gave it to Yamcha. I'm sure at some point we'll get another Frieza and I'll give it to him. But the basic thing to garner from this is this stage is going to be very difficult. If you can beat it, well done, you get a cool costume. I don't think there's much else to it. That stage should be out now, I think, so it'll be out by the time the video's up for sure. And now Jumputi. Let's talk about Jumputi. We haven't got a very good scan for Jumputi, unfortunately, but it's good enough that I can tell you a lot of information. This is kind of what I'm talking about. When it comes to scans, you want a load of new information. This is a load of new information. Ori Collection really didn't give us that. Oh well. So, we have 3 new enemy characters, and we have 4 new, what we assume will be gacha characters. We have Kirishima, Todoroki, Mirio, and Tsuyu, who look like they are going to be gacha, which I'm okay with, because 3 out of 4 of those characters were the characters I wanted most from Jumputi, so I'm not mad at all. I did say, not from Jumputi, sorry, from My Hero Academia. I did say before I kind of wanted something smaller after all the series that we've had, but to be fair to them, My Hero Academia, although it's a massive series, although we saw it coming ever since Christmas, we've been saying it's definitely going to happen soon. It's finally here. We don't have an official date for when this is coming out because the screenshot's too crusty. It might not even say on the screenshots on the actual magazine, to be honest. But, you know, we kind of saw this coming for a long time. But to be fair, My Hero Academia has only had a few small events. And like, one, like, tie-in event for the anniversary. So, it's a bit better. Like, if this had been like a Part 2 Naruto event, I would have been so disappointed. If this had been like a... I don't know. What's another series? If it had been another One Piece event, I would have been so disappointed. This is not exactly what I wanted, but it could have been a lot worse. And I think the sprites, from what we can see there, look very nice. Look very well done. And at the bottom, you can see 3 new enemies, and we can just barely see the kanji for what these stages are. Now, I will warn you right now, I'm going to talk about spoilers in just a sec. I'll say exactly when I'm going to talk about spoilers, because I don't want to do it, but this warning should be clear. If you're an anime-only watcher for My Hero Academia, playing in this event, you will get spoiled. This contains stuff that's going to be in Season 4 of My Hero Academia, which is not out yet. It has happened in the manga. You can go read the manga, you can get all the information you need. But if you're an anime-only watcher and you're waiting for Season 4, this event is going to spoil you. Now, this is a very weird choice by them. I always thought this was something they wouldn't do with an ongoing anime, which in a way gives me a little bit of hope to potentially see a Kimetsu no Yaiba event at some point. But it's still kind of going to be a big contention point, I think, a lot. I don't know what it's like in Japan. I don't know if the whole, like, anime only versus manga reader is, like, really a thing. But at least over, you know, in the West, and, you know, on Twitter and stuff, I see it. There are a lot of people that only want to watch My Hero Academia because they think the anime is quite a spectacle. And, well, if they play Jumputi, they will be spoiled. So, you've been given a fair warning. I'm going to talk about it in detail here. If you haven't read it, stop watching this video. If you have read it, or you haven't read it but you don't care, we can continue. So we have 3 new villain characters at the bottom. I say villain loosely, because not really. But 3 new characters that you will fight, and they will be... we assume that we know that 2 of them are obtainable. I don't know if the 3rd one is, but let's start. We've got Inasa as a transcendent class, right? He will be obtainable. We have Overhaul as an ultimate class. He will be obtainable. And then we have Gang Orca as a unity battle. He might be obtainable. I think it would be kind of odd if he was obtainable, because we've had a few unity battles that haven't been obtainable, that have been like massive enemies or major characters in the story, and I feel like Gang Orca's like not that big a deal, so I don't know why he would be obtainable, but maybe obtainable. Let's talk about Overhaul. This is the point where it's going to get to spoilers. Every single story event, the ultimate class / catastrophe class has had a tie-in with a limited unit. I am 100% sure that we are going to get 100% full Cal Deku as a limited unit, and I think that we've seen a new way of doing catastrophe events with this Dragon Ball event. They had Ultimate Vegeta, and then later Catastrophe Stage Uzaru Vegeta. So there's actually like a form change between the 2 difficulties to explain as to why it's more difficult, and the more difficult stage you get a rewards in the form of a costume. I have a feeling that they're going to do the same with Overhaul. He had like a kind of form change towards the end. I don't know if you call it... basically, you could definitely have a different form for him in his catastrophe stage, and I think that's what they're going to do. He's going to come out as Ultimate at the start, and then a bit down the line they'll release a catastrophe. You beat that to get a costume, and I think there will be a limited 100% full Cal Deku. So that's that's all the information we have for now. there's a few characters I could see potentially sneaking their way into this event in other forms. Like, if we do say that those 4 characters are the 4 gacha characters, those 3 are the 3 enemies, we might see like a login unit or a beginner event or something like that. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get a better scan at some point and I'll have a bit more info. We should be getting information about this event pretty soon. I was kind of hoping there'd be a small event before this. It's not impossible that there will be a small event before this, but historically, every time we've got the V-Jump scans, it's only been a matter of days before the event was announced in-game. So I would probably expect this to be announced soon. I don't know if we're going to get a live stream. They are doing a Jumputi real-life meetup in Japan, but that's not until next month, and it's going to be after or during the Weekly Shonen Jump anniversary. So that's it. That's it for this video. Just a quick review of the news. Let people know what's going on, and I will see you guys when the event actually drops. So bye.